Australian politics just experienced its biggest power shift in 80 years, and it all started with a private jet landing in Florida. The story I'm about to tell you completely rewrites everything we thought we knew about conservative politics down under.
And what's fascinating is how this transformation happened right under everyone's noses while they were distracted by the traditional political drama in Canberra.
Let's paint the picture. October 2025, Palm Beach, Florida. Mining billionaire Gina Rinehart's Gulfstream. G700 touches down and outsteps not just Reinhart, but Pauline Hanson, a politician many had written off as a relic of the 90s.
And within days, they're at Mar-a-Lago's Great Gatsby Halloween Gala, seated right next to the Trump inner circle. That's not exactly subtle positioning, is it?
Well, what's really interesting is the timing. See, back in Australia, the Liberal Party had just suffered its worst defeat in history. Peter Dutton, the supposed strongman of the right, couldn't even hold his own seat in Dixon.
That May 2025 election was like watching dominoes fall in slow motion. The Liberal National Coalition just collapsed.
And then, this is the part that still amazes me. In January 2026, the National Party finally said enough and divorced the Liberals after 80 years together. Their official reason? Get this. Irreconcilable differences over climate targets and what they called the Liberals' drift toward inner-city wokeness.
So what you're saying is that while everyone was focused on this very public breakup, Reinhart was quietly building something new behind the scenes?
Exactly. Look at the numbers from the Australian Electoral Commission. A $900,000 donation from Hancock Prospecting to Advance, which has basically become One Nation's digital army. That's not just opening your wallet. That's making a statement.
And then there's the whole One Nation Express situation with Reinhart's private jets. During those Queensland floods in late 2025, it wasn't government officials who showed up first.
Right. It was Hanson and Barnaby Joyce stepping off a Reinhart-owned Gulfstream. Speaking of Joyce, his defection to One Nation was like watching a master chess player make their winning move. The former National Party leader basically admitted the national brand was holding him back.
The way they've structured this new power web is fascinating. You've got Reinhart providing what they're calling the hard power: private jets, massive donations, GOP connections. Then Hanson brings the soft power, that reliable 26% primary vote floor.
And don't forget the digital strategy. These advance-produced clips of Joyce and Hanson are getting millions of views, completely bypassing traditional media. They're building their own information ecosystem.
Well, what really strikes me is how they're adapting the MAGA playbook for Australian audiences. When Hanson gave that Mar-a-Lago speech, she wasn't just talking about Australian issues.
No, she was using terms like globalist elites and energy sovereignty. Pure Trump-style rhetoric. But here's the clever part. They're connecting these international populist themes to uniquely Australian problems like housing shortages and immigration rates.
So what makes this different from previous populist movements in Australia?
It's the infrastructure behind it. This isn't just about winning elections. It's about building a parallel political universe. They've got their own transport network, their own media ecosystem, their own funding mechanisms. And most importantly, they don't even need to win outright.
You mean because they're aiming for that balance of power position?
Exactly. Reinhart seems to have figured out that you don't need a majority to influence policy. You just need a powerful, loyal minority that can hold the balance of power and shape the national conversation. It's like they're playing chess while everyone else is still playing checkers.
And looking at these polling numbers, 26% for One Nation. This isn't just some temporary protest vote anymore, is it?
No, this is a fundamental restructuring of Australian conservative politics. The old broad church approach is dead. What's emerged is leaner, meaner, and incredibly well-funded. And you know what? I don't think there's any going back.
So what you're saying is that Australian politics has crossed a kind of Rubicon?
Well, when you've got a billionaire's private jet fleet, a sophisticated digital operation, and a quarter of the electorate behind you. Yeah, I'd say we're looking at a permanent change in Australian politics. The question isn't whether this new alliance will survive, it's whether anyone can effectively counter it.